The Black Heritage Day app. Download today on Google Play or the Apple App Store.
Sarah Lewis Vaughn was born on this day.
Hi, this is Jeremiah. John H. Johnson was born.
But today, let us not forget our debt to Toussaint Louverture.
Enola McMillan was born on this day in 1904.
Marshall Major Taylor was born in Indianapolis, Indiana on November.
Occurred on this day, December 20th, 1860.
Work that we're doing here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.
Like It or Not starts now.
And welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it.
What's up, y'all? How are you guys doing? I apologize this morning. My computer has been doing this thing where you start it, and I think it started and everything is all great, and then I start to move my mouse and nothing moves, and so I have to restart it again, and then it loads and then stops, and I can't get it.
And it goes back to the little Apple screen again.
And so I'm like, baby, we trying to keep her together. We trying to keep her together, but she's in struggleville. So that's what was happening this morning because everything was set up, and then I had to restart, and then all the things. So it's doing that. This is a new thing it's doing where it's not the 2 restart thing. It's the restart, flourish, and then it's like, I don't think I can really do this, and then it turns into restart, pause, and then So,
did you get a startup error message that pops up on there?
Well, no, it just starts up, and then that the little white load, it'd be like, we getting ready, and then it'd be like,
well, we're gonna start back over again.
And I'd be staring at the screen, and I'm like, okay, so what's that? What? And then then I have to hold the power down. The old school,
old school
power tab, and then the whole restart and all of that. So that's
okay.
What that was.
Because Q's computer was just doing the same thing. I basically had to erase everything on his MacBook and restart it all over again because it kept going to the login screen and then would just go right back to the Apple. It just and it kept doing it. It's like, okay. But yeah.
How did you fix it?
Like I said, I had to format his hard drive and reinstall the Mac OS on there. So if you don't have to do that, thankfully he don't have a lot of stuff on his, but if your computer is older and you got a lot of stuff, don't do that.
Yes, Lord.
Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
Well, that's what I've been doing this morning. So that's why I look a little rough and tough because I didn't get a chance to after my workout to put myself together. But we are here. And
that's all right. You are beautiful, sister. You're naturally black, beautiful self.
Thank you. Look, it's okay. I know. Well, we all right. We're gonna be all right this morning. It's a lot of news that went down this week, but before that, I want to check in with you guys. And how was your week? How was your Friday? How was your? How was it?
James, you want to go first?
Sure. It was. I don't know. The week wasn't bad. It was an easy week, but last week found out that gonna be losing without a job come November 21st. So no certain type of way about that. But other than that, it's just like okay, figuring it out. There we go.
You know what? My sister just lost her job. Let me put people business. My sister just lost a job. No, but it's in one of those same. Yeah, we're here. First of all, that's my cup you're holding. That's my cup.
Is that your literal cup that he was supposed to give you?
Yeah, he never gave it to me, so I got my own. Okay, but my sister just lost her job. I'm putting her business out there. Sorry, sis.
Dang,
and it's in the same kind of field, that you work in, and a lot of people who have the at first they were trying to send people back to the offices, and then when they seen that wasn't working, morale was down, those kind of things, people stayed home, and they started making it a numbers game. They started making it where you had to hit certain numbers in order to move forward. You could have been at the job for 17 years, 10 years, 15 years, 5 years, but if you weren't meeting the metrics anymore, because what they started to do was put more pressure on this. I don't know if this has been your experience, James, but they started to put more pressure on people from working from home. You were already doing the job and it was fine, but now they're like, oh, since you're working from home, you're going to have to pay for that. And so what we're going to do, we're going to double the work that you do. And if you don't meet these metrics within a unreasonable time frame, you're gone. So a lot of people, my sister was telling me, I even, in my last position was watching people who were in the positions for so long, not leave by choice, but be fired. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully, I'll say like this. A part of the company was, since we work with like different brands and different companies, excuse me, they're like, we're like an outsourced company. So I won't give away too much. And our client that we have, they've been trying to go what we call self-operational, where they do everything in-house themselves. They've been trying to do that for years, but they never could. So now they're thinking that they have the bandwidth and everything else. I mean, they got the money to, and that now that they can go ahead and do that. Since why they changed it. But with that piece of business being gone, and that is a huge piece of business for us, yeah, it's just like, okay, we don't know what's about to happen. I'm the only one that's like that doesn't have job security, which is crazy because I've been there 10 years and I've done everything. I'm like the foremost subject matter expert, if you will, on the client. And I'm the one that's going to be SOL come November.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. Is there a separation that they're doing with you where they're giving you at least some kind of fluff?
Yes. So they are giving our team members so much money at the end of it. And then the management team, the supervisors will also get a portion of it too. Just don't know how much that is yet.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that they're at least giving you something to bear with. And even in this time, even though the state of Georgia gives nothing when it's unemployment, they give you nothing. You are on your own in the time where you're searching. They wouldn't be able to carry you over. But, these companies also want to put the pressure on people for them to leave the job so they don't qualify
exactly
for that. So they're doing that. So I hate that this happened to you, but maybe this was one of those for such a time as this moments where you are leaving this to go somewhere else that's going to just elevate you, maybe a pivot in your life, help you refocus and do something different. 10 years is a long time to be giving to a company that can throw you away and give you just a little bit of pennies. But that's food for thought. They never needed you. You never needed them. You needed them, but if they can just throw you away, you find something else that you go where you're appreciated. And it's a bit tough right now, but I'm pretty sure, knowing with your background and how much you put into that, there is a management position somewhere else, if that's what you want, it has your name on it. Trust me, a lot of places are looking for somebody like you. So
amen, Becca. I appreciate that.
You're so
excuse me.
You're so welcome. But Benjamin P. Dixon.
Yeah. Y'all know me, man. I'm just out here in cyberspace and in the ether, floating in the universe, just here, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, working on, grinding on stuff, saying a whole bunch without saying anything like I'm doing right now. Ain't nothing going on but the rent, that's it. That's me. But James, I don't got nothing to say about my life, but just listening to you, man, it's crazy how quickly society is shifting and just completely eliminating entire fields and departments and stuff that they depended on for years. Because I know you've been with that company for a minute, and now they are just gutting an entire, basically, industry in a way. Because considering how many different companies y'all serviced over the years, and now they just get rid of it, it just shows you, like, no matter how committed we are to this system is never committed to us, man.
Amen.
And that's why you see how quick they'll be to replace you. We have state senators, state representatives who are gunned down by groups like MAGA. And they are so quick to be like, job available. position available. It doesn't matter. So that's why I say, you look at life, you look at things, and we come into this world with nothing, and we work so hard trying to get something, only to when we leave this world, we're still leaving with nothing. So just to keep that in mind, these jobs literally will throw you away, no matter your circumstance, because they have to keep on thriving. And no matter how much blood, sweat, and tears you may put into their job, which I don't think you should put blood, sweat, and tears into the job that doesn't give back to you, but you should do what you are hired to do, and but no matter if you're doing your job and all the things, they don't care. They'll throw you away. They'll do the things, all those things, and replace you, while you're sitting there like thinking, oh my God, I gave all of me to this job. I missed out an opportunity with my children. I missed out on even seeking a mental health. I couldn't even pay for the food for my children to eat anything on my salary. And so, I put them in programs and all this kind of stuff that you had to do as either a parent, a person, a caregiver to your parents, a caregiver for yourself.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. All the things. They don't give a damn. And they will tell you your benefit was the fact that you came here, got a check every other week, and we gave you insurance where you still had to copay. God knows what that is.
Okay.
And we also gave you pizza every second Friday of the 3 months.
Yeah.
We did that for you.
Yeah, that was your big reward. We said when you mentioned getting paid every 2 weeks, do y'all know the Bible says that that you're supposed to pay people on the day they do their work? No, seriously. It really says that. It says, especially if you are a poor person, that you should pay them on the day that they do their work, because it literally says because they depend on it. So
wow.
This whole system is, y'all, whether we know or not. So I have been busy. But I don't want to always talk about what I've been busy on. But what I've been busy on this work is really just outlining how much the American system is the Antichrist system. We ain't got to wait for no Antichrist to come. Like, we're living in a meat grinder that crushes our soul and takes everything from us every single day of every single minute. It's in service of people who want to make a profit off of us. And it just dawns on me how much, and when not dawn on me, like research, like how much what we do in America is the exact literal opposite of what the Bible says do.
But they not real believers. MAGA ain't no believer.
They're not
real believers. And even if they believe in anything, I think they're similar when it comes to like those basic type of instructions or things to live by. All of those things are in other belief systems and religions, and just their basic human things to live by, but they don't care. They're just like, listen, the more that we hold on to your money and act like we're securing it for you after you've done 14 days of work, giving us 80 plus hours of your time.
Yeah.
Then we'll give you because you can die right after that day of work.
Right.
I just watched a video actually, and I actually let me share that video since you brought that up. I just watched a video where a woman was fired after she set the table up at her job, got it prepared, and they fired her after it was all set up. She went back and she tore that table right up. She tore it up and she said, y'all think that I'm about to allow? No. And she felt very relieved after. And here we go. I'm going to send the video. It is in the chat. Pull that. It's in the chat on
Twitter.
Elon Musk's internet. And I feel like these are things that she may go to jail. She may get you going to jail. She may go to jail. She may get a citation. She may get who knows what will happen. But that was something I felt like, if a job try you at the end of the day, you literally worked your whole day through. You gave them everything they needed, and they say, you know what, we're letting you go, beloved. They could have told you that, and they already knew that they were going to fire you.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what being fired in the same day you did you did your work. What that looks like.
Ooh, she is upset, and I don't blame you.
Because play it from the beginning, because that is the moment where here she is, and she's like, "Oh, y'all fired
She
me."
set up the breakfast bar, and then she did this.
She walks to the back and says, "Okay." Now she's coming back to do it. She's like, "You know what? No." And sorry for the language. Oh, you're not drinking this. You're not drinking this. Get it out.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
A couple things I want to say. Number one, I envy her. I wanted to do this so bad at my jobs. I wish I could have went to Burger King and dumped all the grease out, poured all the ketchup out, threw the mayonnaise things against the wall. Bank of America, we didn't really have a lot of breakable stuff, but I just want to like knock the phone over because I hated my manager. Like,
I too.
This is how you go out. If they're gonna fire you, immediately let them know they made the right choice and they might need to call the police. Second of all, I'm really curious as to why the guy telling her to calm down in that situation, why that didn't impact her. He was like, "Hey, calm down, lady. Calm down, lady." And for some reason, that did not help. Usually, when people are really frustrated and upset and are breaking milk, you say, "Calm down." Like, you know what?
Breaking milk.
Third of
Breaking
all,
milk.
if I pay for that hotel and I pay for continental breakfast, I'm sorry this happened to y'all. Somebody set it up again. Because there was a time in my life that the hotel breakfast was included in how I ate for the vacation. And if I don't have that, I just don't have a meal.
Well, I ain't worried about that part, Kev.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you, but I don't care about that part, Kev, on stage.
But what's terrible is though, like I worked in food service as a manager in food service, and one of my bosses, like when it came time to fire someone, like would literally let them work their entire damn shift. I'm like, bro, why are we doing that? It's so inhumane to do that. Like, we basically leaving this person alone. They don't know nothing's coming up. Then at the end of your shift, hey, step into my office real quick. Hey, you fired for the rest of the time. You ain't got no job no more.
No,
like,
Sammy in the chat, you said that. You said, what is it? Where is it? Oh, calm down when you were already one check away from homelessness.
Yes.
That part.
Yes.
That part.
How you want me to calm down?
That part.
Huh? Because I was thinking about, I already budgeted out this month for my baby school, for the groceries in the household. I already budgeted out that I have to pay a late fee because I'm not going to make it on time with this particular check. So I have to budget in on the second check for this month, the late fee that I'm going to have to pay for the rent, the insurance, the medical bills, this is what America is right now. And they've taken away with this big, beautiful bill, any soft landings that or a pillow or something in a hard place, in a hard area of their life that they can sustain or maintain, even though that's impossible in today's economy. So what was going through this lady's mind? I couldn't imagine. And I'm also thinking about, I don't even care that she did this, right?
Absolutely not.
Y'all gonna clean it up. Whoever you guys are replacing me with is going to clean this up. Whoever you're interviewing on today is going to clean the crevices. Or how about you, Sally? Not you, Sally, in the chat. But you. How about you? Right? Front desk lady. You go ahead and turn around and you clean it up. Talking about something, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. I'm not going to jail. Okay? I already ain't got nothing after this. I was working in this crappy hotel.
Look, let me say something, and no shade to Kev on stage.
Get my battery, y'all.
Y'all know I like Kev on stage. He's a good dude, but I just got to say this. Let me have been there and seen that happen. You think I'm gonna think about food right then? I'm never forget. I was there's a wing spot in my place I used to live at in another city in another time, and I went in there to get my wings and get my meal, and the sisters behind the counter were like really, really upset. And I'm just tuning in to what they're upset about. They were upset because the manager had been taking their tips out of the tip container. And so, they couldn't get my wings right then. They were upset about what they were upset about. So I listened to them. And what I did, because I had a little bit of money at the time, was I tipped them all as much as I could tip them what I had in my pocket to make up for what the manager has just literally taken from them. If we don't have, and I know Kev is just joking, so I ain't coming down on Kev, but still, if we don't have immediate solidarity with people who are in the same scenario that we would be in if that happened to us, because if any of us lost our jobs at the critical moment that she lost her job right there, she doesn't know what she's gonna do. She don't know how she's gonna pay for her rent. She don't know how she got kids. She got kids and she don't know how she's gonna feed, how she's gonna pay for the daycare.
We're making
all the
up
things
the scenario, but this is very well a common scenario, so we'll just go with it. We don't know what she has, but
no, we can guarantee, we can almost all but guarantee that she got a family that she taking care of with that. She wasn't even making a lot of money to begin with, right? You know what I mean? She was already struggling. So whatever she got, but I know she probably got kids. She definitely got rent. She got that car note. She got all the medication that she got to get. And then they're going to do this to her. Like, to me, it's like that's priority number one. And if we can't, as people, instantaneously identify with it, and we think that we're somehow separate from it, and our priority is our comfort in that moment, then we've just fed the machine, the same machine that's going to grind us up to a pulp later on that week, later on that month. We are feeding it with our concern about our own personal issue at that moment. Nah, let them people take that moment and be in that moment with them. Instead of worrying about me getting them wings, instead of us worrying about getting that breakfast, be in that moment with them. Hell, I would have thrown something with her. I said, hey, what you want broken? I would have thrown it too.
Yeah. Did y'all also hear about, and it's starting to make people, I don't even want to say go crazy, but it's causing a lot now. I'm not sure if y'all heard about the manager that was killed. I can't remember where it was, by one of the employees because she was being sent home like multiple times. Like, so she'll come in and then she'll work for a couple of hours and the manager will send her home. So she had enough and came back up there and stabbed the assistant manager.
Got to be more careful. Look, I'm sorry to that woman who lost her life because of that. You know what I mean? Like that's a tragedy, and I'm sure that action in and of itself has now fractured a whole nother family. But look at what happened. You got an assistant manager doing the bidding of the machine that's killing us all. And then what happens? Somebody who's getting hurt more than the manager takes it out on the manager. Now we got homicide. Now we got two families that are completely fractured. Why? Because we got to service Burger King, I think it was. Is that what you said, right?
McDonald's.
You could be, because we got to do what the shareholders of McDonald's want. Nah. See, exactly. We got to, it's just like that CEO that got killed. God bless his family. I have grief and I mourn on behalf of his children because he got young children. But you know what? He was fulfilling a demonic role in society. And if we don't pause and look at our jobs and say, how is my job hurting somebody else? Then if we don't ever take time to think about that, then we will never see what's coming around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a tough place to be in with those things, because it's like, even for me, when I was working at that place that shall not be named, Kev on stage did name it. It's interesting because I did a full shift and they called me into the room virtually. And I was probably doing what this lady is doing in that meeting, but virtually. And so, it's a tough place to be in because I did that daily when they would create a lot of new techniques and verbiage for us to use that was abusive to clients. And for me, I would always speak up. And it was the day that they decided to get me out of here. It was because of something I said online with my work. And something that it was what I told them. They had started a new procedure, started this whole thing, and did a meeting about it. And they tried to mute my mic, so I called in on the phone in the meeting. I told them this procedure. I don't know. This is how I started. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? And then I turned the camera on so they could really see, and I said, this procedure is hurting clients. And I then began to give examples of how it hurts clients, and how it's abusive and how it's deceitful. And, and I said, this is a way that we steal from clients.
That part.
And I have said this a lot, and I said the morale is down on the team because the team is getting pushback, being told to do something and not given any background on why to say this or do it or whatever. And then it turns out we're lying to the clients. When the clients call back, we have to play dumb. And then we have to tell them, well, you signed your life over. Even though you came to us for assistance, you signed your life over, and now we own everything. And then when I said, you guys are targeting certain people, Black and brown ones, and mostly immigrants. Oh, baby, by the time the day was done, they said, first of all, you covered stories and yada, yada. And because of what you do, we can no longer. I said, is that the case? Or because I just blew a whistle, right? I just put you guys on Front Street. And they were like, we can't speak to that. We're not saying that that's what happened. This was a targeted offense. And so when I did call in and speak with the head, they were like trying to buy me off, right? If you don't say anything, if you keep our company's name out of your mouth, all is cool. That's all they said. We won't deny you from seeking assistance after this. But it still does nothing for me. It did nothing for me in that time.
Especially because you're in the state of Georgia.
And they nothing for me. And they thought that was a benefit to me. And as I said, as soon as the ink dries one of these days, I will
speak up and call them by name.
I know I'm good at it. The story will be told. It will be
and I cannot wait, Sarah, because that's going to be a good one.
Once I know that, but they are very, I've seen what they can do. That's why I'm telling you guys, they're very powerful.
Call these devils by name. And you know what? The more they come after you, the higher they build you up. See, they're in a conundrum with you in particular, me and James, you too, man, because you are right. The more that they publicly attack us, the bigger they make us, which is why a lot of people have been very careful not to attack us directly and to attack us publicly, because they understand that principle. But after a while, they're not going to be able to ignore you. Here's a comment that I wanted to, that first comment at the top said that I don't know if y'all said this part, but they fired her after a full overnight shift. A full overnight shift. Look, I've worked an overnight shift before for years. And let me tell you something. You're not even thinking straight by the time you get off at 6 o'clock in the morning.
No, you're not.
Your brain ain't really functioning right because you're sleep deprived, because you really didn't get a chance to sleep. You work an overnight shift. You don't sleep during the day like you're supposed to. It's not like you're getting 8 hours of sleep during the day and then going into work because you got to take care of your family during the day. And you're going to pull a stunt like this? Does she have a GoFundMe? Does anybody know? Because I ain't got but 2 nickels, but I'm going to send them to her.
2 nickels
in the comments, maybe or maybe not, but like I like the comments. All are on the same vibe check. Here we go. They need to stop playing with these people. Not condoning her inability to retain self-control, but I do completely empathize with her. Unfortunately, this only hurts her in the long run. Companies need to do better. And
if they could raise that racist white woman who called that black boy the N-word $1 million.
Yes.
We should be able to raise this sister at least enough to get to the next 3 months. Somebody got to, instead of, and I hope we're not just looking at her and gawking and saying, look at how bad this situation is. Nah, Kev on stage, you need, a matter of fact, I ain't even logged in. I'd leave a comment. Y'all need to start this sister a GoFundMe.
And yes, I think that community, when people see things like this and rally around people just to make sure that they're okay, I love that. And I've learned that my therapist had told me that years ago, like 2 years ago, when the whole thing happened, when they took my wages from me and stuff like that, she's like, you have a community of people who support you. And when you're in need, I'm pretty sure she's afraid to ask, or she's afraid to say that she's down. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the things that she's probably thinking, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I don't want to ask. I don't want to have to do. I don't want to have to beg. I don't want to have to, but we've seen this, and I'm pretty sure because there are a lot of white people who will see this and fly and make sure, like, and lady, are you okay? I'm pretty sure. And I think that we all have community within people who can see, who watch you and see you and hear your story. And I think that maybe this woman is going to see that and know that in this moment, because the comment section passed the vibe check pretty much. So hopefully they did reach out to her, if anybody has or not, just to support her. But there are so many people. Her story is not alone, but it is a great example of how the system capitalistically does us, how these big corporate, would you call them overlords? Would you been
oligarchs?
Just attack us and take from us, and it could be our last day. This is like goes back to the movie with Tyler Perry's behind. That's my movie. It was a good movie. Just you're going through so much, and then your boss is treating you like trash, and you crash out. They don't know, they don't care, they will push you and make you feel weak and look at you as weak and talk to you as weak, and that will be the day that you just never know. Anywho,
let me read this real quick.
Let me read it for you, man. Let me read it.
Okay, go ahead. You ready to preach it?
Good morning, saints. Good morning. Good morning, saints.
Good morning.
Today's word comes from Deuteronomy chapter 24, verses 14 and 15. You shall not withhold the wages of poor and needy laborers, whether other Israelites or aliens who reside in your land in one of your towns. You shall pay them their wages daily before sunset.
You got to put the emphasis on daily. Put emphasis on daily. Read 15 again.
You shall pay them their wages daily.
There it is.
Before sunset, because they are poor and their livelihood depends on them. Because they are poor and their livelihood depends on them.
You preaching.
Otherwise, they might cry to the Lord against you, and you would incur guilt.
Guilt. The King James Version translates guilt into sin. It is a sin to not pay poor people their wages on a daily basis. Capitalism is the Antichrist. Prove me wrong.
And it is. It literally is very biblical. Like the Bible literally says that.
Jesus.
But look, Jesus. in my Beat Simone voice, Jesus. Anywho, no, the Bible definitely says that. I just moving forward, the last point would be, how you say eat the rich, and listen, how many people is on these programs, people at these jobs, white folks go to these jobs, fall out on the floor, white folks say, they scream, they holler, they get a bill. Starbucks man got so much money after they was being racist. The Starbucks man reversed and still got so much money. You know what I'm saying? After that. So listen to me. Y'all go to these jobs, y'all do what you're hired to do, but leave the job when you find a better job. Don't let nobody make you feel like you gotta make that seat hot. I'm only here to make the seat warm enough so I can move on to the next one. Y'all think I'm not pulling up on the computers a job, a board where I'm looking for a better job than this? Absolutely, I am. This is not going to be where I die. This is not going to be where I get. I have y'all take everything from me. I have no life when I come home to give to my kids. I gotta cook, I gotta clean, I gotta try to balance off going to school to try to figure out. No way. This will not be a place where just because the boss is coming to visit, that I'm going to act like I have my thong all the way up my behind for y'all. I'm not doing it.
Rebecca.
Rebecca, you can't do that. You can't do that move unless you're on full screen. You gotta do it again. Do it again.
No, I'm not. But y'all already be having you know how you be in the corner at work trying to get the window. This was back in the day before COVID, when before they put us on, trying to get the service in the window because they have cell blockers in the damn office.
Yes.
Wow.
I had to wait 4 hours to walk outside the building and see the sun before it went down in this last little crevice to get service on the device.
Now, what if you got a family emergency?
My God.
Right.
They're evil, folks. I can't stress this enough. And somebody, I keep pulling up the same super chat And we're gonna give a shout out to everyone who gave us a super chat. But this one is so important. Alexis Love said, "Rest is resistance." Talks about how the capitalist machine makes us turn others into cogs in our attempt to aid this system. Resting is vital. They will work you until you have no empathy for anybody else because you can't afford empathy because it takes too much energy because you ain't got no rest. They will work you until you are just delirious and so dependent on that same cycle that you don't even recognize that you're not. The only thing I disagree with on this is that you're not a cog in this machine. A cog is a gear. It's how the machine functions. We are the meat that this machine is grinding to a pulp. We are not the machine. The machine is destroying our lives, our souls. We can't have neighbors. We can't have community. We can't have rest. We certainly can't have opportunities to get above this. And it's by design. It's not a mistake. It's not that they don't know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. And it's a game to them. And so when people lose it, then they want us to have empathy for the CEO of United Healthcare Systems. I have empathy for his children, not for him, right? They want us to feel bad when workers lash out. No. Matter of fact, when you see a worker lashing out, support them. You ain't got to go to jail for them, but you ought to support them.
I lashed out.
I lashed out too. I ain't gonna lie. When I left my job, I'm like, bro,
I crashed out at that other job. Remember, Rebecca?
Look, we did, Ben. I did too. I walked out and slammed the people's door that was.
I forgot about that crash out I had.
Together.
Rebecca, I told that 6'6" man to come see me at the studio. I said, I'm gonna be waiting here for you. Come see me. Now I couldn't be that man to save my life.
I will never forget it. Ben said, "Come see me." That man did come, but Ben still was in there like, "Yeah, what's up?"
Look.
They
he could have stepped on me and it'd been over, but I didn't care.
But no, they tried to let us go after we did a show. Remember, I had on a denim button down. I'll never forget it. Never forget it. Denim button down, sat in there, and they were like, "Yeah, well," and I said, "How dare you?" Me trying to, and then I was like, he tried to talk, and the lady, the wife, tried to talk, and I I hate doing that to people. But me, my energy, I am a tall woman, but I'm also like, don't play with me, especially when you ain't black. So you don't get a chance. I don't care. But when you ain't black, you really don't get a chance. So we've already took so much at this point because we was all there. I just need to work one more day for Massa. And I could just that.
We ain't never talked like that. Don't you?
We ain't never talked like that though. But finally, we got to the place, and this is again, I gotta keep saying this is pre-pandemic, pre-pandemic, early. This is from first years of Donald Trump. And everything is going haywire. Black Lives Matter. We're trying to keep that. We're trying to show that, and they're telling us we're too black. It's so much. It was too much. So we did crash out, Ben. You did. You said that, man. Hey, what's up? You said, what's up? Like, what's up with it?
What it was that really made me crash out the most was that he was trying to make you submit, right? He was trying to tell you to don't say anything else except repeat what he said. He said, no, be quiet and repeat what I said. And I kept saying,
I remember that. And I said,
what the hell?
Yeah. And so Rebecca crashed out early and she left. And I stayed there. I stayed there for about 5 minutes more. I said, hey, my guy. And I'm just saying my guy because I don't want to say his name on air. I said, hey, man. I say, hey, you really pushing a button here. And it's not this. I don't know if you want. I said, you're pushing a button that tells me that you don't really want a solution. You want a problem. He kept pushing that button. I said, hey, my guy, you pushing the buttons that tells that you want a problem, not a solution. And I said, then I got a problem for you. Come to the studio. And we just all crashed out. That was it. He shut down the company 2 weeks later, by the way.
Wow.
But the company was gone, and then Ben bought the building.
Yes.
So that That was crazy.
Yeah,
but that was when we had, that was when times was kind of good for 2 seconds. But no, I'm telling you, the world. We always think you get somewhere, but you can still keep pivoting in your life and keep going. That's why I'm like, this is not where it stops for you, Bubba. But Ben, you just reminded me that man told me to repeat what I said. Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Repeat what you said.
Yeah.
And I remember slamming that wooden.
Anything else. He said, "Don't let anything come out of your mouth except what I'm saying. Repeat what I'm saying." I said,
Ben, your memory is sharp because, baby, I put that in the dust.
You had to suppress that. You
suppress that all the way. So I would always remember that.
They was trying me in these streets for a long time. That's why when y'all see me looking a little like this, it's because I done been through some things. I done been through some things in this business.
They don't understand. And the fact that we got the nerve, the unmitigated gall to get on there and talk about it, they should know we ain't the ones to really mess with. I don't care if we got 5 viewers right now. No, we got way more than 5 viewers. But we are literally not the ones because we have lost it. We have crashed out and we'll come back and tell you about it. That's us. They didn't want it. They don't want it. Oh, goodness. So that's why I identify with that sister so much, man.
Ben,
sister, I feel her.
The crashing out has been happening a long time in my life because these people have been trying me so much. But I really feel like those moments like that. But in this season of my life, that was recent for me and the company that shall not be named until they shall be named. But Kev on Stage did name that company. If y'all want to go back and find out what it was.
Yeah.
But, I didn't know what I was going to do next. Still don't know. But I'm still like, I can't let that kill me. I've died a lot when they have taken from me these jobs and these people and all those things and how they talk to me. And I've even been told in the job that won't be named, ain't you a journalist?
Oh,
don't you go viral? Do you need this job? They've talked to me crazy. Oh yeah, Ben, absolutely. Anybody got a crash out story you want to call in and tell us? Now we're taking calls after Becca has to Ben, what?
I'm just saying, you got to leave in a few minutes.
I mean,
we almost out of time. I didn't realize. I didn't realize we done took the whole time to talk about this one story, and you got to go.
It's true. No, you're right, and I'm glad I even brought it up because I feel like this is for such a time as this because the big beautiful bill is going to affect a lot of the people in this way. Imagine losing your job in this moment where they've said now you're leaving and you can no longer get Medicaid. First of all, Medicaid's website, Ben, if you can actually pull it up for the state of Georgia, not even for please find it and pull it up. It is as if it was built on the first computer with a big booty.
Not the big
computer with the beat, and I'm talking about Apple computers. I'm talking about the ones before that. The ones before the
Wait a minute. This one don't look too bad. I must be at the wrong one. Medicaid.Georgia.
I'm talking about when you click on the option to go and apply for Medicaid itself.
Okay, let me click on apply.
It's like everything is.
This looked like it was.
It's terrible.
Okay,
and so I said it to say. They don't even care. That's how much they didn't care. They didn't put any work in to make it user friendly. They didn't put any operations into this. They knew this was going to hell anyway. So, like when you click for apply benefits, and you would have to see you wouldn't be able to see it. And I only know this because that's what I had to do since I just lost insurance 2 weeks ago. And mind you, I had a very traumatic experience all month long. Since May up until the end of June, where I've had to come out of pocket for every doctor's visit. And so I was like, let me see what the state, is providing. Baby, I went on there and they haven't called me since. And then Donald Trump was like, yeah, y'all ain't getting it anyway. And it's stuff that I actually need and that is necessary to my health moving forward. But baby, can't do it. My doctor called me the other day saying, hey, you got to come in for this next visit. And I said, I can't. I told her I actually can't do it until I reinstate some kind of insurance. But I was on the site and I was like, wow, this is terribly not user-friendly. If you do not do it on a computer itself, on the big screen computers, then you're not going to be able to fill it out and those types of things. Now, the big beautiful bill is going to affect so many people, or big beautiful bold bill, whatever the hell the name of it is, but it's something that is going to strip so much for people, including children. And we know that the United States of America doesn't care about children. So if it's that one meal a day that the kid can have at school, and they're like, yeah, who cares? You're not going to be able to eat. Yet, they swear that they protect children. They force you to have these babies. And then they tell them kids to fend for themselves, but they won't even provide them with a meal if necessary at the place that they're supposed to be being taught, where they can't be protected over there because people are coming in and unaliving them anyway, and they don't care because there are no gun laws. We can trace this down so many other problematic spaces and places in America. The least you can do is give the baby a meal.
That part.
Does that just like the UN now? Is that true that the UN has said or noted that food is no longer is not a human right? That the US and was it Israel?
I don't know. Let me look that up. Give me the details again.
Yeah, basically said that food is not a human right.
Just give me a couple seconds. If it's out there, I'll find it. Go ahead, Rebecca or James.
Because it's terrible.
Food is absolutely a human right. Food
it is.
Y'all, the fact that we have to sit here and talk about this and say this, there are so many people who are reliant on Medicaid to get their prescription drugs, to get their. What's going on, Ben?
I found it. Yeah, I'm like, okay, go ahead. Finish talk, Rebecca. I'm gonna pull it up.
Go ahead, because I want to be shocked too.
No, I'm gonna finish your story. So I gotta finish setting it up and
okay, set it up. I'm saying there's so many people right now who are caregivers and who get their parents or grandparents or children's things off of Medicaid because they can't afford it. Somebody just told a story about being getting a $350K salary, so they live a good life. But it's not affordable for the medication that their child needs for the disease that their child has, because the medication costs, I think it's like $20K per whatever they need. And they need a lot of it to sustain their life, to stay alive. So that $350K that they get every year, it doesn't sustain for the amount of drugs or medication that the child needs. And Medicaid helps them to get it and keep the baby on it, keep the child on it, keep the child alive. And without it, they're not going to be able to afford it, even with $350K a year.
Wow.
So yeah, and I don't have all the details yet, but this is what you're talking about. The UN expert. U.S. must recognize a right to food to fix their broken system. Wow. Some states have implemented free school meals, and Maine has a constitutional amendment to guarantee unalienable right to food. But it's rooted in a vote against. And hang on, let me just go to my my little research thing that I did over here real quick. A vote at the UN that said, well, here, just I use AI to find it real quick. You have to forgive me. Here it is.
It's a real issue.
Yeah, I hear that.
At the UN level, the United Nations does recognize food as a human right. It's enshrined in the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the 1966 International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights.
However,
Cite turn search 6 turn search 25.
However,
in 2021, the United States, along with Israel, was one of only 2 countries to vote against a UN committee draft reaffirming that everyone has
wow.
During the pandemic.
Under Joe Biden, 11. No less.
Oh, see,
and I thought this just was recent. This is 2021.
Let me stop.
As an enforceable.
Yeah, but there it is. I mean, that's exactly. And you named it.
Hey,
yeah.
Interest. Thank you for bringing that up.
Wow.
Now I gotta start applying that to the more you know. Now I gotta start applying that to the points that I make when I am talking about how the U.S. does not care for its people, and no matter what when you are voting, you need to think about, I need to vote for somebody who cares for me, because the U.S. is out there making siding with people, creating laws, legislation, putting out rulings that say that I don't matter. Your kid don't matter. Like food for you, food for children.
It's not a human right.
It's not a human right. Not a need, not a necessity.
See, these are the type of stories, and I had to admit last week, like, and I had to pray about it. In fact, I had to go read scripture about it because there's some stories I can't quite cover without cussing these people out. It don't like some of this really is not just evil, but some of these people need to be seen. Like let me watch my mouth. But all I got to say is when a country, and it's funny, it's the United States and Israel. Funny that. Right. When they reject a human right to food, when we live in a system with so much abundance of food that grocery stores and restaurants are throwing out tons of food in every city every single night.
Yes.
Tons of food is being thrown out in every single city and every single night. And they want to tell us that food is not a human right, when we have so much exorbitant waste of food. And they do it because of the profit margin. It is more profitable for them to throw it away than it is to give it away because of how it would impact the cost of food in the long run. And so here we are, the nation, the most moral democracy in the Middle East, right? And this Christian nation, the United States of America, said that even though we have an abundance of food, there's no shortage of food, you don't have a right to food.
And like these people, like you said, you have to cuss them out. And I know y'all heard about what's going on in Texas. And Ben, I dropped a video in the in the Twitters about the flooding in Texas.
Oh my God.
Heartbreaking to hear about. But just found this video that these people turned away all this money for their early warning systems because it was coming from Biden.
My goodness.
Because it was coming from who?
Because
Joe Biden.
Coming from Joe Biden. They didn't want them, like, it's whole video of them talking about.
Now that's a different. I didn't hear that part. I saw that they earlier on. They asked for the updated systems, and the city, where this is, asked for the updated systems. And then, because we'll play this video so we can get a better, a balance of what's going on. But the story was originally that they asked them to update the systems, and the city said no to update the storm systems for them, and the city said no. But this is an interesting. Let's take a look, because these red cities, they'll do anything.
Yeah, we do not want more of Biden's mandates attached to keeping Biden's money.
But these people are communists. They hate America. They're teaching it in our schools. They're invading the border as we speak. I don't think we should take any money from the federal government because they can't be trusted.
Now, we don't need these funds here. We've done just fine. And we'll get by without them. But you spend this money, you're signing a contract with the devil, and the devil's in the White House.
If you vote to keep Biden's money, I will hold you personally responsible and personally liable.
The Biden regime has proven to be tyrannical and anti-American. There is no part of this administration that has the good of America or Americans at heart. We want no part in anything coming down from the federal government. This is Texas, and Texans can take care of Texas.
And I don't believe we should take the money. We should not have it. I don't trust our federal government. I don't think that they're truthful with us. And in these days and these times or whatever, we can't afford to make a mistake.
Pride go before destruction, and a haughty spirit before the fall.
Yes.
My good God Almighty, out of their own mouths.
Out of their own mouths. And it's been making the rounds. I saw that yesterday, and then now I'm seeing more and more video and audio of that, I guess, coming out. So I'm just like, all this is happening, and y'all had a chance. Now, because if I'm not mistaken, the whole rhetoric that's been thrown out is that it's the government's fault or something's going on where they're blaming or saying that the early warning system didn't go off. So they're trying to point a lot of blame. But here it is. Y'all state officials, y'all self said no, we don't want this money. And from what I read, it was the money that was going to be used to update the early warning systems, but instead they wanted to use the money on their law enforcement and I think some other stuff as well too.
You know what's so interesting? Because they're still part of the government. They're still part of running things. It is the government, and the fact that the local government, your state officials, your city officials, are the reason why.
Yes.
These children
did
not make it out. Were not safe, and these people weren't. Maybe some of the people weren't even aware of this, right? And sent their kids off thinking that they'll see them again. Whole time. This is why I say they don't care to protect you. Behind this, it's important for us to be knowledgeable about what's going on locally. I live in a predominantly white city. I don't really talk about what's going on in the city of Atlanta, but in my city, I need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Because how it's going to affect my Black behind. Yeah, I know I've told stories and countless stories about so many of my encounters being in the city, and the changes that have happened since. But it's very important, and I learned that actually moving out here, that it's very important for you to know what is happening and how it can benefit you, hurt you, or who is going to be the head of this. Because all it takes is for you not to know, and the 5 people that go and vote for the local such and such, and for them to sit on a Zoom call and have this type of conversation and be responsible for what may happen in the next 4-5 years after their no. Now children are dead. People are dead. People can't be found. Proper burials can't happen. Bodies are still washing up because they decided it was not right to take Biden's money to take care of the community, but to probably use it, if we're going to take it, to grow the police departments and those type of things. So MAGA. Somebody said this during Leftist Mafia, that these MAGA will do anything in their power, go against their communities, the children, whatever. They will make sure they work together, but the people will sacrifice, cut off their own arm to make sure that this country remains racist, remains red, remains in white supremacy, remains run by these officers that are now, we have ICE. They will in order to do so, they will sacrifice everything they know,
including their children,
their
own kids, and that's all you need to know.
That's see, and so when they tell when they talk about being pro-life, they are not pro-life, and I mean this at a very deep spiritual level. There's a spirit of Molech, Molech, that's talked about in the Old Testament, where people of the city were so committed to the city that they were willing to sacrifice their children, literally sacrifice their children on behalf of their city, their state, their nation. MAGA has proven time and again, whether it's through mass shootings at schools, they would let their kids die, whether it be any type of COVID-19. Oh my God, were they ever so excited about letting their children die in the name of their politics, right? And now we look at this scenario in Texas where their children have died because they refuse to update their system, because they refuse to take money from the federal government because it was underneath the direction of Joe Biden. They have demonstrated time and again that they are more than happy to let their children die. And so it is a spirit of Molech, Molech. I don't care what any of them say. They are not pro-life. They are in fact the party of death, but not just our death, the death of their own children. And I think we got to contextualize it for that, right? For us to really understand the evil that we're dealing with. They will kill their own children to own the libs.
Yeah. Ooh, Heavenly Father. Jesus, they will do it.
Ooh,
they will do it.
Hey,
you
gotta be you got to be careful when you calling the name like that. That'll quicken somebody.
Okay. Sometimes, but no, that's how you got. I'll find it so you know the reference. But that's how B. Simone was saying. When her friend was sitting there saying, I was going through it. I didn't know how I lost my job. I was on food stamps. I didn't know how I was gonna feed my kids. And I was living on my mama's couch, and I saw you helping everybody but me. And the B. Simone kept saying, Jesus.
Come, hey.
I was just going through it. I lost my life. I lost my house. I didn't know how I was gonna pick myself up through any of this mess. And you, as my best friend, was just giving all other friends all the stuff. But it's okay because I love you. She kept saying, anyways. The MAGA people, we need to look out for them. I am actually talking about, which is going to drop tomorrow. You guys, I've been having to edit this throughout what I've been going through.
Hey, DVR, not
Jesus. I love that actually.
Jesus.
Really
I love it. Jesus.
We must keep this. You heard it here first from our viewer DVNR. I love it.
Jesus.
That's how I pronounce it.
Wait a minute. Stop it. Y'all will not disrespect my Savior this morning.
Praise Jesus.
Y'all are going to hell. All of y'all are going to hell.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I love y'all.
No, that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Oh
no,
my
I
God.
gotta get out of here. I really want to look. I'm jealous and I want to hang out a little bit more.
We about to party. You got that music ready, James?
Look, y'all trying to leave me and trying to. Anyways, I'm out of here. However, I wanted to read the super chats before I go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's start at the top. Here we go, Rebecca. They up there for you.
Okay. One of the best shows on YouTube. You guys rock. Thank you so much. Please. And if you are watching right now, like, share, subscribe. If you haven't shared this already, share it right now.
Right now.
Alexis love you, and I love your name. Love you, mean it. Rest is resistance talks about how the capitalist machine makes us turn others into cogs, but Ben had mentioned that already. In our attempt to aid the system, resisting this is vital.
Amen.
Remember when pause real quick. Remember when resist was the word to use back in 2016?
I was so tired of that. The resistance. All I could think of was Star Trek. The resistance is futile.
They killed that word, yo. Like, it was such a time. They took resistance and woke.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I'll never forget we had this white dude working for us.
That's what I think about.
And
he was popular at the time.
This unmelanated friend, I don't call him friend anymore because he's a Zionist. This unmelanated Zionist tried to tell us that we should not use the word woke because of what he thought, because of what they were saying it meant. And I'm like, look, white boy, you're going to come in here in our space and tell us what words we can use and we can't use because your unmelanated friends have changed the definition of it. But just the unmitigated gall. I don't even know how we got there.
That's one thing that, and I don't want to offend anybody of you that are watching. This is my view, my point of view, and mine only. This is why I think I kind of transitioned out of simply being called just a leftist or just a liberal or just whatever, because I realized that there are a part of a group of people who are predominantly white, only white, on that side that actually just they feel offended at the fight when it doesn't look like how they are trying to curate it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so if the resistance doesn't look like how they want it, and this is not to you, Alexis, I agree with you 100%. But if the resistance doesn't look like how they have curated it to look, because remember at that time, Ben, we actually moved away. We took it and said, "Oh no, what y'all talking about is not even." Are y'all really gonna sit here and keep on talking about collusion in this small manner and curate it this way when we are talking about the real corruption that's happening right here? We're not doing that. We had to actually resist and do our own thing. And that's how Like It or Not was birthed in this way. I want to know, because it was such a different, it wasn't even, we were doing something else with this person that he's talking about, who was actually a very popular leftist talking head.
Oh no, I'm not talking. Oh well, yeah, he's unmelanated too. But
what were we talking about? There was another one.
Oh yeah, no, the one who used to produce with us in this.
Wait a minute.
It's too many. It's too many examples. But I put Tricia Hersey up there because she's the author of "Rest is Resistance." So I appreciate her taking that resistance term back and framing it the proper way. So shout out to Alexis for bringing that to my remembrance. That "Rest is Resistance" is a book that I think we all should be reading or at least aware of.
Yeah.
Here's the next one, Becca.
Okay.
Much love to Bubba and Ben. Much love to my BBs. What you doing over there, Bubba? Look.
He's standing up ready to jam.
No, I'm on tap stick.
Prairie Fire. Thank you so much. You now have 2 nickels and the funds to go get
rotisserie chicken.
That depends on the channel that came on.
Wait, I think he sent it to multiple channels.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Prairie Fire. Once again, I love Prairie Fire because one thing Prairie gonna do is show up. I believe is a Prairie's an actual farmer. Scripture has taught us for over 3,000 years the rich are loyal to no family, flag, or even a God. I have endless sympathy, but I have no sympathy for those who grind my fellow man into pulp.
Come on, my
Prairie.
Look, I don't know.
You in the house today?
Come on, listen. And you look like you might be unmelanated, but this is the kind of unmelanated friendships and allies that we need.
Right.
This language right here with the bang bang.
With
right?
the bang.
Look, the bang. But I have no sympathy for those who grind my fellow man into pulp for money. That's the spirit.
Yeah.
That's the common bond. That's what we have to have solidarity around.
They on it today. Chat is on it today. Shout out to the chats because y'all are on it today.
No, for real. They've been doing their big one all day today too.
I love that
y'all.
That part.
Alicia, and again, I love seeing the brightness of the photo when it comes on. But Rebecca, you have a gorgeous spirit. I thank you for that. You are beautiful inside and out, and I'm so glad you haven't let these people, these terrible people, dim your shine. You don't know how much you hear those words today, and I thank you for it. Thank you so much. Cy Abelman, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Cy Abelman. In the same country, those clips would be admitted as evidence in their trials.
Talking about those city officials. Absolutely.
Yeah. Alicia McCullum, once again, why thank you. Everybody come over and like Rebecca's stream. We need our girl to be seen and do. And do like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Tomorrow I am dropping, hopefully, once I put the little last touches to the editing on this video that takes me 90 hours to do. But
oh my goodness.
I am dropping a new piece on ICE and why we should be paying more attention to how they are policing, terrorizing, abducting, and murdering and unaliving people here in this country at this moment, and how they are growing and being funded, overfunded, while they're taking away funding from your child in school, won't even consider them for a meal in their school, and they're taking that funding and applying it to
$150 billion to ICE.
Okay. Okay, that's more than the Marine Corps right now. That's okay. Well, just about
more than the FBI. They're gonna have more. It is the Gestapo for sure.
Okay, Gestapo. Call it what it is, baby. So be on the lookout for that to drop onto.
Let me read this one. And Rachel, you know, you and I, we go way back, so you know I love you. Destiny is a pig. That's the entire thing. That's where we're gonna end that super chat. Destiny is a racist, fascist, Zionist pig. He can kiss my entire black.
Destiny, but
right,
damn. Please keep up your good work. I always appreciate your analysis and compassion. Love you, mean it, for whoever that was for. But I appreciate it, Si. And we are at the end. That was look because
you were at the end.
Oh look, I'm at the end. That was it.
Yeah, I'm gonna borrow a DJ exclusive at least for 2-3 songs and give folks a few minutes to come in if they want to talk.
You don't got to kick me out of my own house because this is my house. I got the keys on this house.
It's only because you got to go.
You remember you used to be locked out the club trying to get in?
Oh yeah, because my name went on the marquee. My name went on the marquee. It wasn't on the marquee, but on today it is. So I'm gonna let these kids enjoy the rest of the home. Don't touch nothing. Don't get up.
Don't break nothing. Don't cook nothing.
stay in this area. Don't sit on the couches with
the couch with the plastic on them. We know.
Please put the lunch in the fridge and you eat that. Okay.
And it is. And you better take out the freezer.
Yeah, and you better put the meat out the freezer when I come back so I can. I got enough to cook for our cookout on next Saturday. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next weekend. Make sure you like, you share, and you subscribe. And if you want to continue the support, it's over there on Cash App at Becca's Voice. I will see y'all. The work that we're doing here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.
Like it or not, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Yes, it's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Like It or Not. Rebecca Azor is in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture.